Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. I have a team for you today that I put together and I think it's a classic ABB style team that can be really strong potentially here in the Great League meta in the Go Battle League. Credilli, double Ghost. Shadow Annihilape maybe doesn't see as much play as it used to, but it is still very strong in the meta. And with this double Ghost style team, had a nice little run for me here in the Great League that we're going to see. This happened about a week ago, and we see Annihilape counter swapping into the Steelix here. This is a little bit concerning, however, because what we don't want to happen is feed this Talonflame for a farm down. So Steelix gets us really low. I'm expecting Talonflame to come in, but no, they actually come in with Marowak, which is going to help me out here, because now I can probably come back in with Credilli that has energy and fire off the Grass Knot here. This will probably grab the Final Protect Shield or do a tremendous amount of damage to the Marowak. It grabs the Final Protect Shield. Marowak's going to fire off the Bone Club. I know that Talonflame isn't yet at a move, so I'm okay shielding this. And we're going to overfarm here, overfarm, and really hope that this foul play knocks out, because I think we're 2 away from the next foul play. Is that right? Yeah, 2 away. Foul play is going to connect. I don't think it quite knocks out from this range, but it should do enough to put Talon really low, and the Shadow Claws are going to induce a top left here from the Talonflame user. GG here in game number 1, and this team was certainly a lot of fun. Shadow Annihilape is also a Pokemon that I have not had access to for a long time. It wasn't until the most recent Rocket TM event I was finally able to grab a Shadow Annihilape, or at least TM one that I had recently acquired. I don't think the IVs are that important for Shadow Annihilape as opposed to some other Pokemon, because there are certain benefits you can get with Annihilape if you have a higher attack and that sort of thing. We see a Credilli mirror match here, which is a little bit awkward, right? Because with this style of team, you kind of want to lure out any potential fairy types in the back. So I'm actually going to let him hit me first and look to immediately pivot into Sableye. Sableye going to resist the acid damage. Go for a foul play before the potential Rock Tomb. Foul play connects, and they're going to fire off a Rock Tomb. I think I decided to shield this, because if they didn't have an obvious counter swap, maybe Sableye can make this uncomfortable for them. Gonna overfarm quite a bit. Fire off another foul play before the next Rock Tomb. And Sableye is going to pick up the Protect Shield. I'm gonna match shields here. And also our switch clock should be up soon, so they double debuff me, but I can switch out if I want to. And I make a huge mistake here. I combo and I clicked the wrong side. So I didn't land the Rock Tomb. If I landed the Rock Tomb here, this would have been so nice. It would have been done more damage, and this would be debuffed right now. And if I'd landed the Rock Tomb, I think I probably could have farmed down here with Sableye. So a very costly mistake. We're gonna go for the foul play here to draw the Final Protect Shield or knock it out. They shield, and I can't quite switch yet, so this is all up to Annihilape. The problem is they already showed Credilli, right? So it's unlikely whatever's in the back is going to be a good matchup for Annihilape. And yeah, I'm pretty confident had I just Rock Tombed the Golisopod, I don't know if we win for sure, but we certainly have a much better chance to win if we don't make that mistake. I do get the damage registration error here, but it's not going to matter. The other Pokemon are just a little bit too healthy, so we knock out Talonflame, and there you have it. A few HP left on both their remaining Pokemon. Yeah, probably win that if we just remembered which side our move was on the combo play. But here we go. I actually have like 3 different Credilli built. Maybe that's why I forgot. Here we go. Credilli into Dusclops. Dusclops carrying Ice Punch. You can say slightly favored in this matchup, but whenever you're in a matchup of something that can debuff the opponent over and over again, the longer those matchups play out, typically the more it's going to benefit the debuff user. So we're going for a Rock Tomb here. We know that Dusclops is 2 off the next, but they're going to throw on good timing. Very nice. Now, I might consider going for Grass Knot here, because I know if I Rock Tomb, I'm going to get outpaced anyway. So I think I go for Grass Knot, doing a little bit more raw damage. And, oh, you know what? I probably should have sniped with my Sableye there. If I had Quick Swap my Sableye, I could have knocked out the Dusclops and 2 Shadow Claws, but that's all right. We'll just get 1 Shadow Claw here. In comes Drapion. A little bit awkward. We don't have a great matchup here as Sableye. But Sableye can hold its own. Also, if you're running Y, I'm running Dazzling Gleam. No reason in particular. I think we figured that we already had some nice rock coverage with Credilli. So we're just opting for the Dazzling Gleam instead. And that's what we had already on Sableye. So to not use extra TMs. But we now quick swap into Annihilape. Going to put up a shield. And with the Dusclops lead, I'm hoping whatever's in the back might be weak to our Annihilape. And it is. It's the Lapras. No messing around. Just Rage Fist immediately. Ramp up that counter damage. Rage Fist connects. And there's no way Lapras is going to reach 2 Sparkling Arias here. So they recognize that the game is over. And they top left there. Next one. Credilli into Swampert. A little bit of an awkward matchup with Acid. If Swampert's willing to shield and shields Grass Knots correctly, like, this suddenly becomes a bad matchup for Credilli in the 2-shield scenario. But, of course, we have the move that will threaten to one-shot them. And it seems very baitable with the Rock Tomb, so sometimes people might try to call it. But no, they respect it with the shield. I hard pivot into Sableye, actually, after I get the shield advantage. And gonna throw the foul play here. Let's see what Swampert decides to do. Swampert is going to go down. In comes Feraligatr. And because I'm 1 ahead, I can reach this foul play first, which is awfully nice. And they let it go. And now I'm thinking, I probably just shield Shadow Claw down. If this was their best answer to Sableye, I wonder what could be in the back. And it's a Matang. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, this is scary. A Matang, dude. A Shadow Matang. This thing has access to Psyshock. How are we going to be able to deal with this? Psyshock will just completely end our Annihilape. We have no fast attack pressure on our Credilli. I come in with Annihilape. I'm trying to think about the counts, and I wait a Fury Cutter and catch an attack onto Credilli. They don't undercharge, which allows me to get to this Rage Fist. And this should seal the deal here. Annihilape knocks out Matang, and we get 1 counter to knock out Feraligatr. I wasn't sure if their switch timer was up there, but I figured even if they caught it, my boosted counter damage should be enough to knock out before the next Psy shot. So nice little win there. Game-winning catch against the Matang. Next opponent, Credilli into Mandibuzz. This is a really good matchup for Credilli because Rock Tomb just straight up like 2-shots Mandibuzz. And these air slashes plus foul play are just really not threatening that much to Credilli. So I'd almost consider this a hard counter matchup. They swap into Dusclops. And this is our first time seeing this scenario. Sableye counter swapping the Dusclops. Should be a positive matchup for us. Shadow Punch connects. And I throw the foul play here. And what you're going to see is foul play doesn't quite do enough to knock out. So it would be more ideal here. Well, I guess I could have taken the punch. So, but I probably should have overfarmed more. To come out of here with more energy. Now they're going to fire off an attack, use some energy on our Sableye. I just wanted to make sure I retained alignment. Credilli comes in. They're going to fire off another attack. Totally fine. And I have a Rock Tomb as well, right? So if they swap, I can potentially debuff something as it comes in. But no, they're not swapping yet, so I'm going to overfarm. I do 5 just to get a little bit more energy because I figured they probably don't shield Mandibuzz here. But they do. In comes Dragalge. And because I have so much energy, I'm going to throw the Rock Tomb here. And they don't shield. I was kind of hoping they would shield that because now this is more awkward. I go for the Rage Fist, just ramping up my attack. We do have to watch out for an Outrage. They are debuffed, so I figure maybe we can take one. Do I call it? No, I shield. And it was the outrage. So a great shield there. We counter down, come out with the ice punch. And that's a GG. Dragalge, a cool Pokemon. I like using it myself. Here we go. Next battle. Motique's terrific battler. Credilli into Caesar. Terrible lead. We're going to pivot into Sableye. And Motique's actually going to let us throw the foul play first, which is nice. A little bit of lag here, unfortunately. Oh, no. Okay, Sableye going to... I'm actually going to shield this, I guess, to get in that Shadow Claw sneak and to force him to throw again. And yeah, I let it go this time, and now I can simply counter down with Annihilape. And I guess we're hoping that this is his best answer to Credilli, so maybe Credilli will be good against the back line. But I actually... Did I lag? Was that where I lagged 2 turns in this game? Yes, I think what you end up seeing happening here is I take 3 bullet punches, and he only takes 2 counters. So yeah, I lagged 2 turns upon entry, so I take... Oh wait, no, I'm trolling. That was 3 counters. Okay, never mind. Did I take 4 bullet punches? Let me watch that again. I remember thinking that I lagged here, but maybe I was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, I took 4 bullet punches as opposed to only... I should have taken 3 there, so that's pretty annoying. But we go for the Rage Fist here. And we're going to ramp up here against Lapras. Gonna put up a shield, because if he came in with Lapras, I'm thinking, huh, maybe he's really weak to this. Maybe it's like a Diggersby or something. We get the counter down, and it's Gligar. And then this is tough, because I don't know if we're going to reach the next attack, so I swap into Credilli. But this kind of just allows Gligar, right, to get the overfarm, which is going to be really tough for our Annihilape. I go for the Rock Tomb here. Don't know if there's much reason to Rock Tomb here other than... Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't think it... I doubt it makes the Fury Cutters do any less to Annihilate. They probably still do 1, right? But they go for Dig. It knocks me out. And yeah, what's annoying is I don't have the boosted counters there anymore. And I think if I didn't take that Bullet Punch, I could have stayed in and done a little bit extra damage and then just simply gone for Grass Knot to win the game. So I do feel like that one Bullet Punch that we lagged on did make the difference in that game. But sometimes it is what it is. You got to deal with it. Dusclops against our Sableye here. And we learned a little bit from last game, right? That if we throw too early, it doesn't quite knock out. So I throw a little bit later this time. Now he's going to try and flip this matchup. He's shielding, putting pressure on our Sableye, but we've already gotten both shields. And I think at this point, I'm content just taking my 2 shield advantage. I know Credilli's probably going to have to take a couple of punches here, which isn't ideal. But I feel like setting up a 2-shield Annihilape is usually pretty dang powerful. So I take another one here. Dusclops definitely putting in a lot of work against us this game, but remember, we still have a 2-shield advantage. Credilli going to knock out the Clops. In comes Tinkaton. Yikes. Tinkaton kind of annoying here for us. But I Rock Tomb it, and then I go Annihilape to try and set up an Annihilape sweep, and they instant pivot into Lapras, maybe not expecting something that counters it. And then check this out, I actually undercharge, figuring Lapras is going to get to a move no matter what, but maybe I can come out of here with a little bit more energy and start to ramp up against that Tinkaton. So I get a little bit of an extra counter down. Tinkaton throws immediately, and I know this wasn't enough for a play rough. So I actually decide to let it go. I get off a boosted Rage Fist, and I'm hoping this plus counter damage plus one more move on my Credilli should be enough. And I think we're in a good spot here because they can't quite Fairy Wind down. That would be their win condition, but we're going to reach the Rock Tomb first and get a nice little win here. The recovery. I mean, we barely got to that Rock Tomb, to be fair. That was like 1 HP or 2 HP on Credilli. Credilli into Moltres. Okay. We have the Rock Tomb, of course, to threaten them, but Moltres can definitely put on some pressure of its own in this matchup. They go straight for the fly, throwing after 7. I decide to let it go. And I'm going to get off the Rock Tomb here, expecting them to probably protect shield. And I know a catch is very possible here on the second one, but I throw it immediately anyway. And I decide to shield because I feel like getting off this attack, forcing the next protect shield from them is valuable. And I immediately pivot into Annihilape. We're met by Dragonair. And because our opponent was a little bit slow to react here, that's going to make a huge difference. Because now we are going to be able to charge attack priority them on the second Rage Fist. It's 6-6 for us. It's 5-5 for them. But because they were 2 behind, we actually can get to the second one. And this is going to knock out Dragonair. We are now double boosted on our Annihilape. Moltres comes back, but it's not appreciating these counters, and it gets completely countered down. And what's in the back, we will never know. Maybe it was a Diggersby or something. But good game. Yeah, Annihilape just kind of went crazy there. Sableye never saw the field. Sableye never saw the field, and it's probably a good thing because those first 2 Pokemon were pretty tough for it. All right, Credilli into Dragonair. Interesting matchup. If we were on Bullet Seed, this would be much worse, but our acids are chunking to the point where 1 Rock Tomb is probably all we really need to knock this out as we get some more damage over time. Rock Tomb connects. I hard pivot into Sableye, and oh no, met by Furret. Not ideal. Imagine had I hard pivoted Annihilape instead. That's a more risky swap, but we would be in such a good position here. Unfortunately, Furret, not a very good matchup for our Sableye. Sableye, the Sable guy. Another foul play coming through. Grabs the Protect Shield. So we're not going to give up yet. I come in Annihilape. Going to set up a nice counter down here and respect the Trailblaze. They do bait me with Swift like a savage. In comes Lantern. And I'm wondering if there's still some play here. We still have Credilli, of course. I mean, they're probably expecting the catch at some point. And I do go for the catch. The problem for them is I'm still not quite in, like, single move range from the Lantern. Resisting everything here. Surf, Subdued. Oh, Surf. Never mind. Did do enough. Oh, I lag a turn. Yikes. Please don't impact the game. We lag a turn, but we get the counter down. We have lots of energy. And I think I figured at this point, everything is pretty much in counter down range. So if I just boost my attack right away, maybe that's the best course of action. And that is what happens. We get the Dragonair in 2 counters and then 1 more counter to knock out the Furret. GG. A little bit scary there. And I think this is the last battle of the video. Credilli into Sableye. Probably slightly favored towards Sableye, but at the same time, right, we're just bulkier. We can debuff them with the Rock Tomb. And because it's a non-shadow, I bet that their next foul play isn't even going to threaten to knock us out, especially after this debuff. Rock Tomb coming through, connects. Also, we want our Annihilape to avoid this guy, right? I'm going to take this. I know we can definitely hang on to a foul play. And we just have to be a little bit careful to not let ourselves get farmed down by something that's too threatening. And I see a Swampert come in, so immediately I go Sableye. It is a non-shadow, so I actually elect to take it. In comes Furret. Yikes. But wait. Maybe this sets something up. We go for a Dazzling Gleam since we're only going to get to 1 move, so we do a little bit more damage here. And, oh, I'm starting to remember this. I was really debating whether I should shield the Trailblaze or not, because I'm thinking if I shield the Trailblaze, then he simply just has to get to 2 Hydro Cannons to win. But that Trailblaze plus Sucker Punches put me lower than I would have liked, and now I'm afraid Mud Shots might end up being enough here. Look at these Mud Shots chunking away at Annihilape's health, committing to the counter down, and unfortunately Swampert is going to sweep. We're never going to use a Protect Shield. Now, had I shielded the Trailblaze there, I would have had a game-winning opportunity to catch one of the 2 Hydro Cannons. So that's one of those sort of like reads in the end game where it's like, had I let it go like I didn't really get any win condition because I just got farmed down in the end. Had I shielded, I think we still would have been in a tough spot, but we would have given ourselves a chance at least to catch one of the 2 Hydro Cannons. So good games there, and a fun, cool team. I recommend you try if you have it. I know Shadow Sableye and Shadow Annihilape may be 2 of the more less common Pokemon to be able to obtain in the Great League, but if you do have them, you could also substitute for the regular version as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All your comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.